sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin', I'm sippin'.
Sippin', I'm 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 sippin'.
You good? This is Sippin' with Sammie. I am Sippin' with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't sippin' with Sammie, you ain't sippin' right. Please get your fucking life together. It'll be 2023 already and you wouldn't have had a shot yet. And today I had the pleasure of having my guy in here, man. My man Arsin. Shout out to Arsin. What's up with you, bro?
Yeah. What's up, Sammie? You already
good.
know what's up. Staying busy, focus.
Staying busy is one thing that you do. And one thing that a lot of my guests on my platform have in common is that I always say that if you're moving around the city, you've seen these people. With you, everybody that's moving around the city already knows you, but you're not moving in the same circles no more. You running, like, you know what I mean? But everybody knows who you are. So Backship plays, I'm assuming, because I see a lot of people supporting with certain things that you run.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays, a little more people.
But I want to salute you because, like, you don't build that network without work.
Yeah, so like you said, I put a lot of that groundwork in early. You know, like literally, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, walking the city, literally walking for 2 months with my team, putting up posters, being everywhere, standing outside the clubs before Instagram, before MySpace, like in the rain, in the snow, all of that, like stuff that people ain't built for. You know, showing up every week to the club, you ain't old enough to get in. DJ like, what's up? I ain't playing that shit. And then you come back next week like, I got something else. You just keep coming, like it's just like you insane or something, like, you know what I mean? Because you believe in it so much. Drive though, yeah. So a lot of people, you know, they post their links and all of that, but I don't know if everybody built for where we come from. So yeah, I did a lot of that, but like you said, now I'm international performing, national performing. I want to take my gift worldwide and help people worldwide, and I think that's the next step, and that's what it's really about, not just being stuck.
Absolutely, because I mean, we're in a blessed area. Tri-state in general is a lot of opportunities, a lot of talent, it's a lot of places that you can go rub shoulders with. But after you do that, or while you're doing that, you need to be getting bigger things going and getting outside your zone, outside of your comfort zone. I had my man on here recently, and he was talking about years ago he started going to Australia to perform for like, he go out there for like a month every year. You see what I'm saying? And it's like shoot videos, record, link with producers, all of that. Of course. Like make his time out of it. But it's like people don't even think that people over there are listening to you. But we have algorithms and prints and, you know, spreadsheets that basically show us on your phone if you really look up, if you register your music, that shows you who's listening to it.
Facts.
And you need to get there.
Yeah, facts. And even if they ain't listening to it, it's a good humbling experience to just go somewhere where nobody know you again. I say that all the time. Cause it's like it keeps your drive the same. When I went to Punta Cana, everybody thought I was Dominican because I guess I look Dominican. But I went there and smashed it like I would smash it anywhere. Because I smash it the same everywhere because I care that much. So
where were you? What was the event in Punta Cana that you performed at?
It was actually Dreams Resort.
Okay.
Yeah, so they have like entertainment there, so for the tours. Yeah, so they booked me to come, and I performed with their dancers, and it was just amazing. You know,
I know that was dope.
Yeah, like, you know, that's the type of stuff I do.
I get paid to do this shit.
And then, you know, I'm like an all around entertainer, so you know I dance, you know, I do all that, acting, all of that. So like, it's really, I'm so comfortable. You know, a lot of people don't be comfortable. I could perform in a club, in the street, in the hood, at a church. Like, I have that versatility that I was blessed with. So I enjoy it to the fullest, you know what I mean?
I think that, and not everybody, because everybody's not meant to do everything, but people that want to progress in certain ways that they act like they want to. Yeah. If that's not in you, you have to find something to make that a part of you. You have to motivate yourself. It's, you know, we could train our minds and our bodies to do whatever makes sense.
Facts.
For the time, right? Yeah. But a lot of the times we talk ourselves out of whatever for whatever. Fear a lot of the time. Sometimes if you go so hard and nothing comes of it, it's like, then what?
Yeah, then people worry about what a lot of people think, and
which is
like we was talking about Jay-Z yesterday, and you know, somebody mentioned like, hey, he wouldn't be as rich as he was if he just rapped. Like, he found other ways, other skills and talents to make money, and I think, you know, people need to know that. Artists need to know that. Clothes designers, like whatever you want to do, you always gotta get out of your comfort zone and always like outbeat yourself. Stop worrying about everybody else. Outdo yourself, and that's how you really gonna be successful.
Absolutely, absolutely. I always say to artists in general, because maybe you're not necessarily, you don't know what else you want to do, but are you doing the merch thing? Are you providing different links for different things that people can support that can't necessarily come to your show? Are you giving people multiple ways to support you? Yeah, because there's people that would love to support you, but they got 5 kids and 3 jobs. Yeah,
exactly.
But they got some money for you even on that. Yeah. And if not, they got word of mouth and all of that for you.
Exactly. People don't value those things. Like, relationships are worth more than money. Like, period. The relationships I have that I built early on is what you're seeing now. Like, it ain't like, the news just hit me up out of nowhere. Like, no, these people have been watching me. They may not have had a reason, but it's all timing. It got to make sense for people.
Absolutely.
I've known people for 20 years and we ain't worked together to now, but I always maintain those relationships.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, because cool. Everything is within the right timing.
Exactly. And people got to be patient, and that's what I understand. So, looking at that strategically, how you treat people both ways. A lot of people treated me like shit too, though. You know what I mean,
bro?
And I mean, I work with them from a distance. I understand. I take it as a grain of salt. I don't take it personal. But at the same time, if it's too much, then I just don't fuck with them at all. Yeah. You know what I mean? I can't do that.
But that's your prerogative. Like, you a human first. You a man first. You all of that. So it's like, people think that even though you might not react to something, that doesn't put a little notch in the head. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, no, I remember it. It is there. And when I get to the point where when I think of you is not favorable, then I'm going to stop thinking of you. I'm going to stop making you a part of things. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Because it's not enjoyable when I think in your direction, because I do remember how you've reacted and done things in the past. And now I'm better off just having a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the thing. You can work hard and enjoy this shit.
Yeah, that's what
you're supposed to at some point.
Yeah, I mean that's what I do. Like, I think work. I love everything. Like, even everything I do, the acting, the video editing, the podcast, the writing, the raps, the performances. It's hard, but I like it. Like, I'll be up 14 hours straight just.
And you constantly learning. Yeah, and evolving.
Yeah, and evolving. I got to tell myself to get some sleep, because I love it. See, the love is what people forget. They get too caught up in the likes and the attention. But imagine tomorrow that the internet shut down. No more Instagram. No more none of that. Imagine if music was illegal. Like, I'm that deep into it. Like, if this shit shut down and you couldn't do it no more and it was whack to do, I'm going to still do it the same level. And I think everybody ain't built like that.
What's the name of the podcast?
Well, my podcast is called the MATCHBOOK Podcast. It's about arts, community, and culture. So, it's something that I cross market to more of my LinkedIn followers, my professionals. I have a master's degree in human service, so I have a whole different type of following that may not be too interested in the hip hop or the music or what's going on that scene, but they care more about the substance behind it and on the on that level. So I cater to those people as well.
Dope. And when you acting, what have you been a part of so far? What do you have coming as far as acting?
The new season of Tales on BET. I'm in episode 1, Fight the Power.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, Irv Gotti.
Shout out to Irv. That's a big deal. I like what he's doing with that franchise.
I met Irv Gotti in 2013 at a show, and relationships. I ain't bug him. You know what I mean? I just knew when the time was right. I submitted it for. It wasn't a big role, but I did play some role in the directing and creativity because I am a director. So that's one thing. I just did a Jefferson Hospital commercial, because I have a history working in the hospital, so that was a relationship. I was in a movie called Soulful with Snoop from The Wire. So then a lot of my own projects. I'm working on a movie next year. This video that drops Friday, Voices of My City, inspired by the Pray for Philly Challenge, is you'll see my directing skills in here too, because it's a storyline as well. So
dope.
And that airs on CBS Friday.
It's crazy. That's beautiful.
I know, right?
Congratulations, man. And that's the thing, because you're on my timeline and I'm constantly seeing dope stuff, but clearly I missed a couple things. You just ran down 2 things specifically that I'm like, I didn't even know that, and I follow you. Yeah. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a beautiful thing. You mentioned the challenge. Let's speak to the challenge, because I knew it was a great idea when you DM'd me before everybody started doing their verses, but we've seen the first 48 challenge take months to pick up. Yeah. Your challenge grew wings from the gate. Like
2 weeks. Yeah.
So the name of the challenge is?
It's the Pray for Philly challenge, and it started when I took one of my young boys to the studio. You know, I grew up with his uncles. One of them died. One of them got like 30 years. I don't know exactly how many years he got. But he just needed guidance. So he was like, I'm trying to rap. I took him to the studio. When we left, I'm just sitting in the car listening to this beat he played. And I'm like, damn, like he was so excited. Like I ain't seen nobody that excited about nothing. Like the dude was like, yo, that's me. I'm like, yeah, that's you. And it's like, I said, damn, what if we had more OGs through music? Like,
absolutely.
We ain't even got to know the young boys, but what if we just, and I said, well, damn, like I know it's a lot of violence. It's a lot of addiction going on in the city. When I think about prayer, I don't think about like begging, or I think more so just collective power, like me, you, a bunch of a higher power. You know what I mean? So I was like, look, I'm gonna do a pray for my city, John. Pray for Philly. I did it, and I just hit up everybody. Like I'm probably in your DM right now. Like I hit up everybody because I want to hold everybody accountable for their skill, their influence, all of that. You know, I don't care how big or how small you is. You got the power of word. And in hip hop, it's a competitive thing. So I wanted to use that competitive nature and that accountability to hold artists accountable. And I didn't mind sharing my platform. It's like, look. If we're going to be on the same accord, I'll put a stop to everything I'm doing for a while, my regularly scheduled program, so we can come together to really address
something
this.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So that
and then panels could come from this and all type of things.
Then artists can benefit from it too, not just by being a part of it, but you on my platform, the news play it, you're playing your clip. You see what I'm saying?
Talk Ars.
Yeah. So it's like our city always talk about everybody is crabs in a bucket. Like, okay, yeah, we battle, we have our things, and that's part of hip hop. But at the end of the day, outside of that, we should stick together. You know what I mean? And I wanted to be an example of that.
I think the support that has followed you just creating a situation for people to, whether you want to jump in, you can jump in, you stay out, you can stay out. I think that you got a great response. How many verses have you received?
It's like 97 at this point. 97 total. It's hard to keep up. I've been doing a playlist on. You can look on YouTube under the Pray for Philly hashtag. Okay. Pray for Philly challenge hashtag. You'll see about 60 something, and then it's like other people. So it's about, I counted like 97. Got
40 more to add.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like I be busy, so it's like people be like,
good problem.
Yeah,
it's a good problem.
People like, yo, you gonna post mine? You know what I mean? And there's some people, they just want to post it for the attention, and they want to have back and forths. And I'm like, yo, if you ain't doing it for the right reason, dog, just keep it on. Like, come on, like I ain't got time for that.
We have to be specific and intentional about our platforms. Even when it's just a challenge, because just a challenge isn't just a challenge.
Yeah, it's deeper than that. Like, like I get it, but I'm strategic. This is to help people. Like this ain't just rap. Like so, I'm doing the youth Pray for Philly challenge contest where the winner wins $400, the second place $200, the third $100.
What's the age cap on that?
It's 12 to 17.
Dope.
And the deadline is the 18th. I want to incentivize young people to use their mind and their words instead of their guns.
Absolutely.
And then on top of it, I have all these programs and resources that's behind me. So when you submit, you get job resources, you get mental health resources, you get legal stuff if you got a little record. So it's like they can like really change their lives just from this challenge. So
it's a whole lot of optimism that comes from that.
Yeah, and then the hope in the city, the hope, like the hope, us representing the streets, and everybody watch the news, everybody watch Good Day Philadelphia.
Because we can't have Super Bowl parades every month just to boost y'all. We need more than that.
Yeah. So it's really, its longevity is deeper than that, and I be wanting everybody to understand what they're a part of. And I just like the positive energy. It just feel good. People surprised. They're like, yo, how much for you to post my joint? I said, look, I'll post it. You know what I mean?
Take it serious and be good.
Just be good. Like, don't be playing around, because like you gotta think about it like this. Like I appreciate you, stepping up and everything. But if you, it's a quality thing. If somebody comes and you're not taking it serious, they not gonna take it serious.
Absolutely. So people gonna treat your house how you do.
Exactly. So it's a lot that go involved with it. And then at the same time, like I said, I was prepared for it, but I wasn't. Like, it was something that came from the heart. So it ain't like
I said, it was a week.
Yeah.
And it was rolling.
Yeah.
Like a lot of challenges that wind up popping, they've been out for a while. I don't know if you be paying attention, but
I don't pay attention to how long they be out, but I'd be seeing stuff.
Stuff catches traction though, and sometimes it's that one person that does it that catches other people's attention or whatever. But whatever happened with you, I just kept seeing you posting them back to back, and I'm like,
the difference was
I'm seeing female young ladies.
I'm active, like I'm in your DM. Like
Yeah.
I'm not too bougie.
Yeah, you didn't just put it out there.
No,
You hit people up.
I'm
and
like,
said
yo,
you
what
part
you
of it.
doing? Like,
Yeah.
and some people like, yo, I'm gonna sound contradictive because I don't know. I said, listen,
I ain't gonna
dog.
lie. When you DM me, my first thing was like, this one I was supposed to have him on the show. Because it's like, you know, we got big networks.
Mm-hmm.
And like the podcast list is endless. I'm always have more people that I want to sit down and talk to. But certain people that's like, oh shit, this the time to talk to them.
Yeah,
And then I look up and I'm like, the news done grabbed this motherfucker. But that's a good thing. Like, I'm not, you know, we can't have the same, you don't have the time on there that you have on here.
Yeah, and also, you know, I ain't gonna say I can't. It's just you gotta understand who you're talking to too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know you got a certain audience that's gonna understand the culture the way certain people that watch the news ain't gonna understand the
At all.
culture. You know what I mean? Like even in the video, not to give too much, but the storyline is about one of them young boys that's out here, you know, involved in the nonsense. You know, that's what's going on. But it's to show the human side of it. You know, we see these young boys, you know, drilling and killing, and they demons and all of that. But in this storyline, you get to see a little bit before the violence, the trauma, the depression, you know,
like
all of that stuff.
That
and
11 to 14 age gap, that couple years, a lot of stuff happens.
Yeah, so I want to show the other side of that and humanize these young boys and let them know that, yo, you know, somebody understands. We don't agree with it, but we understand.
But we should humanize because they humanize Dahmer.
Yeah.
They humanize the craziest motherfuckers.
They make documentaries about it.
Yeah, and they try to tell you that this person was affected by society, and that's why they're doing things to
perverts
society.
and all that.
Like,
They make
no.
excuses for them, but you know they don't understand the circumstances we come from. I'm just trying to provide other options. That's all, and show people other sides. So I ain't trying to tell anybody to stop what they doing. I'm just saying, listen, if this is not what you want to do, it's cool to do something else.
Yeah, and,
you know what I mean.
And I can help you.
Yeah, facts.
I have resources.
That's the part right there.
Because like one big narrative that I always get frustrated with is that nobody does anything until the cops do something to us or until a white person does. And I'm like, do you know how many people I know that's doing shit in real time every day?
Yeah.
That you could go walk with them or talk with them, invite them on your platform, buy them a case of waters or something for them. I don't know, like you
anything.
Could,
This is the
you could be
smallest
helping
thing.
them instead of
like for
typing
example,
some shit that's not true.
I'm gonna tell you something. I was telling my boy Barry this the other day. Airbrush King.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Barry, sorry, I can't think of Instagram at the moment, but
salute to you.
Yeah.
And I need a new airbrush. I ain't had one since high school.
I got you. But I told him, like, me and him was at the playground one day and some old head came with some gloves and pads and taught us how to box right on the spot. I didn't see him since, but I never forgot it. It was the smallest thing that he probably do every day, but it got me through a lot of fights. And also, it's something I still use the combos to the day.
I was about to say, but the confidence you get from it.
Yeah.
Knowing that you could protect yourself is a motherfucker.
Yeah, but it's that little thing that he did that we don't think these little things matter. Like just saying hello to a young boy, showing him that it's okay to see another man and say, oh, yo, I like Erica, or them sneaks nice. Like, you ain't got to be a hater or a dickhead all the time.
One of the reasons I love Black Thought so much is because when I was in high school, I went to Roman. Well, I graduated from Roman. I started out at ENS. But when I was at Roman, we seen him on Vine Street. He walking by himself, blazer on, colorful joint. And I'm coming back from the gallery. I had practice. And I'm walking with Brett Welton. And I'm like, yo, Thought, what's up? He stood there and gave us about 3 to 5 minutes of rap and then kept it moving.
Yeah.
And I just appreciated that.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Like, because it was like he was by himself. He ain't had to stop. He could have shook our hands or saluted and we would have been happy.
Yeah, that would have been
like
enough.
we was good. We was 15,
It was
16.
just the acknowledgement that
But
she
he
was there.
gave us a couple words and talked to us and kept it moving. I still remember when N1 pulled up to my playground and told people, hit a foul shot. We got some shorts for you or some tees for
It's
you.
the moments. Even look, I'm gonna take it back. I remember when I was like 12, and I don't know if you remember Journalist.
Yes, I remember John.
Yeah, Journalist. His name was on the backboards, and I don't know. I think he had just got signed or what was going on. I was young, but I just remember being there. You know, he had the bandana on. This back in the day of the jerseys, and he just, you know, he shook my hand and just like, yo, you know, you could do your thing too. Like, people don't even remember the impressions. So it's like if you stop being so into yourselves and start thinking about how you, because think about it, you crying about your man or such and such getting killed, but we all connected. It's something you probably didn't do or did do to somebody that did something to somebody that did something to somebody, and it come back around and affect you. That's what people don't see.
If 500 people, 400 people, 300 people are dying every year in the city for a span of over 10 years, everybody has been affected repeatedly.
Facts.
We're all in the same boat as far as how death and murder affected you. Like, we've all been affected.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying? And it's like, at that point, there is no, like, we got to stop blurring these lines.
Facts.
Like, yo, I'm fucked up, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Cool. Can we figure something the fuck out?
And that's what I did with this challenge. It was like everybody had a chance to talk about it. Like, collectively. Like, we ain't just got to sit.
What have you heard that was profound or that, like, stuck to you, like, from certain people, like, their perspective? I know you might not be able to.
Oh no, I listen.
Directly.
No, I'll be listening. I listen to all y'all verses like 20 times. I don't care. Like, it's weird. Like, when you submit it, I'll play the person verse over and over again. Like, you know, just it's so many verses. I could say lines, but I think some of the themes that stood out was how depressed people was.
Like, the realization.
Yeah, like the realization that, yo, like, these people really, you know, are depressed, or like these people are really like passionate about, you know, how they feel, you know, in general. Like, that was the theme. That was what I was shocked by. Was the theme.
You know, there's a large percentage of them that never wrote a verse about that.
I know that. A lot of people told me that it was hard for them because, like I said, they felt like it was contradicting. And they been talking about ops and yesterday, and I said, listen, you ain't gotta be Martin Luther King. I'm just saying,
it's not about you being perfect.
It's about your struggle.
Moment,
like whatever mindset you got, explain how you got there. Like, if you, like, one of the young bulls did it. He active. He did it with his mask on and everything. And everybody was judging him. But if you listen to his lyrics, he said he trying to take his young boy out of the game. You know what I mean? But he's saying, yo, if something happened to my young boy, I gotta defend him. So he's not talking about being active in the verse. He's just talking about, yo, I'm depressed, my young boy's depressed, but I still gotta be strong because I'm his leader and I gotta show him another way.
And this is a young man that is responsible
19,
for another young man.
15.
That you know what I mean? That he feels that, and I've been that guy before.
Yeah, but his message was, he said, you know, he the youngest nigga in the room, but he got the biggest blicky. I'm trying to get out, and I'm going to take him with me. I remember his line. See, nobody heard that. I'm going to tell you, my homie, you know, I ain't going to say his name. He said, listen, as soon as I seen the mask and the hoodie, I ain't but listen.
Checked out.
You know
because
what I mean?
Now you thinking these young motherfuckers wearing hoodies in 100
But they did
weather.
that. They did that to us, though. When we had our 3X t-shirts on and we went to go say something, they ain't want to hear it. So I said, yo, I had to open your eyes and say, listen, what you just did is what happened to us. Like, everybody, you know, you gotta listen. And then that's what I think one of the biggest problems is
How did he respond when you told him that?
He said he went back to the post.
Did he digest that?
He went back to the post, he listened, and he put fires under it. And he said, damn, dog, you right. He said, that's crazy.
But presentation is a motherfucker. We understand that in general society.
Yeah.
On our side,
we gotta be sensitive.
We give everybody a chance if they act like they a part of this thing.
Yeah, you gotta listen. Of course, I listen. I'm not going to just post anything, but when I listened again, and I said, okay, cool, I get it, because I'm an artist. You know what I mean? I get it. You know what I mean? I got the perspective. So I say that to say, like, I'm me, you. But what we all got in common is we all got this same trauma, the same limited resources. Let's talk about that. Earlier, let's talk about that. Like, that's all. That just, you just gotta be a real person. You ain't gotta be a gangster. You could just be real. Like, be real.
But it's hard for people. Like you said, you've gotten the responses from them, and they've told you that they had to go somewhere they didn't go, or that they brought something out of them that they weren't. Whatever have you. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of I'm sure. But I was a part of a Stop the Violence mixtape years ago. And it was a producer that he was giving out the beats. You know what I mean? Everybody do a joint, whatever. I did too. So what he did was he gave everybody a link. About 16 beats you can pick from. I did 2 of them. He said I was one of 3 people that understood the assignment. Yeah. Because everybody else was just sending back random shit over these beats, and he's like, this is intentionally a Stop the Violence mixtape. Like,
yeah. And that's how you go about it.
Not to mention, your competition got the same beat you got.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't need your joint if somebody did what I told them to do over that beat.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, to me, it's like I just wanted to inspire. So if people start doing their own songs, if people start doing their own challenges, that's on a positive tip.
Because
that's what matters.
It's for a move.
It's for a move. So it's like even my official song, "Voices from My City," I could have called it "Pray Philly Challenge," but I didn't because my song is separate from that.
Have you ever rethought that? Have you ever thought back like, should I?
No, I didn't want to do it because I want to separate the pool that everybody can be inspired from in my individual project.
And I think
I think everybody should build off of this.
That's
movement,
honorable. But
you know
we're in a time where everything is marketing.
Yeah. I mean,
even if I got to make an ass of myself, as long as it's marketing.
No, yeah.
Like,
see, but the good thing about
you're not that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, but the good thing about it is it's connected because everybody knows. You know, it's the same thing almost. Like even the cover art is prayer hands with a gun in it. So it's everybody know that it's inspired by that, and everybody know that I'm connected to it. So and then the artists on the song are from the challenge.
Right.
It's 12 artists from the challenge. So and then in the video you see the Pray for Philly challenge.
Okay.
So it's connected.
I like
you know what I mean?
I like it.
But it's like I didn't want to. I didn't want to limit the foundation.
You using more parts of your brain than the average bear, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you wear your director hat, your artist hat, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, and that's what I challenge people to do.
You find a way to melt it in the multiple ways, and a lot of people can't do that thing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I tell the young boys, like, it's the stuff I do is same stuff people do on the street.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You flip stuff. It's
perspective.
It's street smart. It's perspective. And the same stuff you do to survive. Like, just take it out of survival and put it into marketing and money. Like, that's what some of the greatest, like, artists did that's successful.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, when we talk about Jay's and, you know, and Ross and Diddy's and, like...
For a couple years, I was telling niggas, go get you a Boosie verse. Around Christmas, he give out features for half off. It's about 5,500 to 7,500 because he be confused. He don't know what half of 13 grand is. So, but he does all of them joints. If you send a check... He hops on that shit and he sends it back. It was his way of buying Christmas gifts.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? He was running it up. And people would say that's stupid because you water yourself down, you on Joe Smo shit, whatever. But Boosie, like, he got 6,500, I'm sending the motherfucking verse. And it's certain artists that you know, if they had that energy or just that traction, you know what I mean? That when somebody search Boosie, they should pop up that it's worth $6 grand before the idea you just told me you was about to do for 10 grand.
No, if you listen, man, if you skillful, you can't ever water yourself down by producing more quality. Like,
no, but you know the average see, the comments are made by consumers. Yeah. Their understanding is different.
Yeah, for fact.
And then the average artist doesn't understand as much as you understand, let alone the people that put you on. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you're in such a narrow class, but it doesn't feel like it because the culture is for general consumption.
Yeah, facts.
And general debate. But actually you're in a 12% ratio of the people that's talking about it. Yeah. But you don't feel like it because you're not in 12% of the business of it. Or 12, but knowledge is a motherfucker, and you have to care so much to catch all. Yeah,
you gotta care.
It's a lot that goes on in this shit.
Yeah, you gotta care. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, like for me to do my own videos and edit and beat, like, and shout out to Raziac Studios and C's. Like, I be
shout out to C's.
C's know, like,
and rest in peace to Faust.
Rest in peace to Faust, for sure. And Faust taught me a lot. Like,
Faust did 80% of my album and then died before it came out, bro. That shit killed me.
Yeah, Faust was a bit, I mean, I'm talking 16, 15. So it's like, to learn all that tedious stuff, you gotta give a. You gotta love it. Because I would love to just go record and leave, but that's just not how I'm made up. Like, I want the quality to be so good. It's like, and I love it.
Well, you competing with Walmart.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's what artists don't understand either. Like, dope is dope. It's cool. Yeah. But if they play this, and this, does this fit? Yeah. Or does it sound like this?
Facts.
And then somebody, like, sometimes that works. Sometimes you get a Young and Made record. Sometimes you get a Smurder record that doesn't really line up, but it's so grimy and so real that it works. Yeah. That's the diamond in the rough and under the haystack.
And I think people follow after that too much. Like it's okay to use that as a reference, but don't try to make the same exact song. Like, don't do that.
How about do as much as you're creatively capable of? Yeah. Before everybody's trying to put their hands on it and tell you what you can do.
Yeah. Let me tell you something, man. Dudes done told me A&Rs and said this. And you know what's funny? No offense to certain A&Rs, but you the artist, yo. They don't really know. They just know based off data and history.
They're doing their job. You have to do your job.
Yeah, you have to be the innovator. You have to be the one that shows them, oh, you got something new? Like, because they are just going off their data and their past. But if you're a trendsetter, then whatever you do new, if it works, then they're going to be like, oh, yeah, do what he did.
And you can prove it works. Yeah. All you have to do is put a clip on one of these fucking social media services, and you can show them how your audience responded to it.
Facts.
The imprint, whatever happened, you know what I mean, digitally off of that. And that's 40-second clips.
40 seconds.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's possible. And I tell artists this all the time. Like, don't wait until you get to the label and think that, oh, now I could try to. No, they're going to tell you, we grabbed you for this.
Yeah.
They like this. But right now, in the age of indie and right on the hills of SoundCloud, that's your fault.
Yeah, facts.
Because you could have figured it out or tried it before.
Yeah.
And even if it wasn't perfect, now we got something to lean on. Now they're going to let you try it.
Yeah, they're going to try it because they see that it kind of worked.
Mm-hmm.
And then my whole thing is, if you see what I do with my equation, if you put it into a bigger equation with more funding, it just multiplies.
And that's all they're there for. They're there for business.
They're there to multiply what you did on a small level on a bigger level.
Oh, he's making $5,000 a show off of them records.
Yeah.
If we
put this behind them, that could be 50 to 500,000.
And we get 360.
You already know.
Party time. Excellent. We gonna clear. We out the red. You know what I mean? Like,
facts.
And it is, and you boosted because you went from 5 to 50, but you're not even digging. Like, nah. They running it up. Yeah, but that's the business.
That's the business, and that's why you got to know the business. Like even with my song "Voices from My City" with the 12 artists, right? You know, some of them may have thought about it, some of them may haven't, but no one said to me, "Yo, what's up with the publishing?" So what I did is I did a split sheet, and I said, "Yo, what's your publishing information?" What's it? And they gave it to me. You know what I mean?
They all have it.
Some don't, some do. But it's the fact that I took it upon myself to say, yo, even a person that just did the prayer, she didn't write a verse. I said, yo, you wrote something. Like, you owed something. I can't be talking about, like, you know, oh, they jerking us, and then I'm doing that to people.
You on the same time.
Yeah, like, and I made everything was transparent. Like, yo, you giving me permission to do this and that. I had a release form because I wanted to respect artists, and I wanted them to experience what it felt like. Oh yeah, so next time they do a feature, it's like, oh yeah, Arsin, he said something about you ain't giving me. What's up with that? So they can ask those questions.
What's that split sheet thing he was talking about?
So a split
sheet. Even
if
you don't understand.
Oh, I understand.
No, I mean, but even if they don't understand, they
all right,
know
so
they heard
split sheet. So in publishing, you got the publisher, that's 100%. You got the writing of the music, which is 100%. The writing.
I appreciate you explaining this to them.
The writing has something to do with the writing of the music. So the producer wrote the notes, whatever. Exactly. And then you got the lyrical part. So usually it's 50-50. If you made the beat, you get 50. If I wrote the song, I get 50 of the right
beat. You get paid first.
Yeah, you get. So this is the writing part. You know what I mean? So it was 50% left of the lyrical writing part, and there's 12 artists. That's 4.2% of artists on the lyrical writing part. Then the musical writing part was the producer, and then the publisher is Extinguished Entertainment. I'm publishing it because I'm investing in it. Absolutely. I'm putting it out, and that's the 100% of the publishing. Right. That's the fair way you should do it. That's splitting it up. So when the split sheet is just everybody saying they agree to their percentage. Exactly. So if the song blow up and it's on the radio, BMI, ASCAP, you know, perform.
That had creative influence on it.
Performing rights organizations that collect that money, they send them a check. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Then you have, you know, more so like the masters, which I own because I'm putting up all the money. I'm taking all the risks. Just like I'm the label of the song. You know what I mean? It's just like anything else. So, but it's just the business that people got to understand. So when they do get an opportunity, they won't get jerked. But then like in our own communities, if we doing this, you know, independently, when somebody come to an artist, they'll remember this, you know what I mean, and it empowers people, you know, and keep their rights and stuff like that.
Absolutely, and with all that being said, now that you explained that to them, you got 4.2% or whatever have you of the record. Now they understand that that's something to look forward to. Like, why is this not a part of the conversation? Yeah, you know what I mean.
Exactly.
Like, what are we doing?
Next time you do something, you're gonna be like, well. Why you didn't mention?
It's something else. When I did something with the other professional boy,
it was.
We was doing professional shit.
Every artist, Gilly, every artist from Philly. I'm just naming Philly artists right now. Right. You know, that's what we we from. Gilly, Tone Trump, Reed, anybody I ever did a song with, they'll all tell you I pulled that paper out. You know what I mean? Because it was like I respected all of the artists for the business. You know what I mean?
I think that's important.
And if they didn't, I still just like, yo, let me get her permission. Cheek Raw too. Shout out to Cheek Raw. You know what I mean? I love a lot of Philly artists for sure.
I did a feature with a Philly artist recently, and I won't say his status, but when we registered the record and all the other records came up that was registered under him, there was only 3 other records. And from what we would know off camera, he should have way more records registered.
Yeah.
And that disappoints me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And it's like, then I start trying to have those conversations. Because for the same reason that you do what you do, it's like, we always wonder why certain people aren't in certain positions.
Yeah.
If this is something that I recognize, then we got to sit down and figure it out.
Yeah, for sure.
You see what I'm saying? But if you understood the time that this person has had in the game, it would fuck your head up.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? You would be like, why though?
Yeah, and then like some people just do verses, for the upfront free. But even behind the scenes, I always give them credit.
But I explain that to young artists too.
Yeah.
When motherfuckers charge you for a verse, and most of these niggas are gonna tell you somewhere between $200 to $600 maybe, and they gonna give you something, and it's probably gonna be quality because you wouldn't be paying for it. They don't care about nothing that happens after that.
Yeah, you sign.
You better off paying them.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't pay them, if that song specifically blows up, you just give them which was old to them. But if you do pay them, you had the option to say, "Listen, I'm gonna put y'all in game. Listen, everybody, listen to me."
Thank you.
It's called a work for hire.
Exactly.
It's a legal term that means that if Sammie gives me a verse for $400 and he signs this work for hire agreement,
I met
he's done.
Out the situation.
He's done. Unless I'd be nice and say, "Hey, Sammie, let me give you some percentage for your verse." But if it's a work for hire, he's done. It's not jerking nobody.
No,
but that's why you gotta read. You know what I mean?
That's what they asked for, and they might not do the video.
Yeah, they might not do that. But listen, whether you want to do it or not, at least you gave the person an opportunity. I'm up front, like at least you know, like you know what I mean. Like if I did a song with you and it blow up, call me, yo, we gonna work it out. You know what I mean? We already, so it's not even that deep. I just want people to know, like,
business can be figured out if we know what business is.
Yeah, just figure it out, and it gotta make sense. It gotta be fair. It can't be like, because it just don't make no sense. You know what I mean? Right. And I think people they just jump to these big, solutions when they're not even thinking about what makes sense.
Well, you always fear being the guy that undersold a situation.
Yeah.
You never want to be the guy that sold Apple. I mean, or what was it? Whatever the shit was that started Microsoft. You never want to be that guy when 10 years, 20 years later, this motherfucker's like, yeah, I bought this shit for $400. Like,
yo, look, perfect example, the Wu-Tang logo.
Nigga.
Like, he RZA bought it from his man for $60.
$60.
And look what it's worth now. I mean, it wasn't nothing wrong with it because nobody knew what it was going to happen to
but it is what it is. Yo,
yeah.
Draw me something. It's just like drawing a tattoo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody with a hand, yo, this is my idea, draw me a tattoo. You give them $50 for it, $100 for it.
Yeah, and then you can't just be charging people wild amounts of money because of what could happen.
Because of what you think what was going to be the biggest.
Yo.
But it's one of the top 3 to 5 international music logos ever.
Yeah.
That's amazing, yo. So that's very similar to my example.
Death Row logo, same thing. Homie drew it. He paid them. So it's like.
But that's thorough, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even if you don't get the big money from behind it, you could still use that and say, yo, I'm the boy who drew the logo, and go to somebody else and get a big check. Don't sit there and be like, oh, he sold out. He could have gave me say, oh, I appreciate it, but let me market it and say, yo, let me be in a couple pictures with you and let people know I drew it, and I'm gonna go charge this dude $500,000. Work together.
Let me use it in my captions and my hashtag.
If I do something for you and then you became a billionaire, I'm not gonna hate on you and say, yo, you owe me after you done paid me. I'm gonna say, Sammie, let's let people know I drew it and let's go get some money from people for me.
If I introduce you to a millionaire and y'all make millions together, you don't owe me nothing for that.
Facts. Relationships are worth more than money. Get that through your head. Relationships are worth more than money. Stop thinking about the immediate thing and think about the longevity.
Always think about longevity. And I'll do you one better. We have, hip hop has been around just long enough for us to have the perfect example for this situation. Ferg Pop.
Yeah.
did the Bad Boy logo.
Facts. Yeah.
Ferg has been Lil Ferg, whatever his pop name was, since then. He's been able to run around the city and do what you know what I mean, off the strip. His pop was thorough. His pop was tied in. His pop made a lot of shirt money from what I hear.
Yeah.
And he was selling belts and all type of leathers and shit. Like,
but his son used it though.
Yeah.
He didn't just rely on his name. He put the work in. You know what I mean?
But see how like we didn't know before Ferg that his pop was that big a deal. It still comes out.
Yeah.
You still was a part of that.
Yeah.
And your son is benefiting from it.
Facts.
Not that he's not talented, but he's using it.
Yeah, of course. He should.
Shit,
he shouldn't just sit around and expect the universe to revolve around him just cause.
Just cause. That
don't make no sense.
No, but I think that I think we're in an ill position as just like somebody that was born around the time we was born, and just like I always say to people, I remember all the businessmen had briefcases and suits on or slacks or whatever.
Yeah.
Now you could be on a subway next to a kid with a skateboard that's a millionaire. And
Facts.
his book bag got a laptop in it. And
Facts. And he a YouTuber. Yep. Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And it's like that's
like
so
even
dope.
me, like the perception is different. Like people be like, I have my suits on when it's time, and you know certain situations. Yeah, when it's time. But a lot of times, like before I open my mouth and nobody know nothing, you know, somebody see me dress regular and just judge, right? And then when they talk to me, and I be like, oh yeah, you know, you got a master's degree, you've been working in this for 20 years, blah blah blah. You've been doing this type of work outside of me, and it's like, oh, you're so interested now. And it's like, yo, you got to change your perception of what success look like. It ain't always just money. It ain't always just jewels. Like sometimes it's just how you carry yourself and what you've been through. Yep. And people got to start valuing that. Like, yo, your stories, you might think it ain't shit. You might think it's just some depressing, you know, struggle. But like, yo, they make money off of us. Yo.
Off us every day.
Hip hop is like the youngest, but the most influential culture. It's also the black dollar is $1 trillion dollar. Like,
and hip hop has done more for race relations than any other one thing ever.
Facts. These suburban kids sit back in these safe environments, look at y'all, you know what I mean,
and they
learn
understand
from y'all,
a little more.
Learn a little more, you know. But at the same time, you know, they don't have to deal with the reality we deal with. They could just sit back on their computer, comment, troll, and all of that. But we really dealing with it. We gotta take it serious.
Oh yeah, we ain't Jurassic Park.
Yeah, facts.
But it can feel like that sometimes. It can really feel like that. Like I've heard artists say, I don't even want to be an artist no more because my crowd looks like this and I'm singing this and it don't even feel right. And it's like, well, yeah, you know the power of what you do out here. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think that people know. I think they just be worried about.
They have talent.
Yeah, they don't.
And they don't foresee the power in it. Yeah, it's just like I'm supposed to do this.
Yeah, it's natural to us. So, like for example, growing up seeing shoestrings on the wire and graffiti, like that was normal. But when I got older and I seen that it was something called hip hop and it was a thing and it was marketed, and people are like, "Yo, where you get that background from?" I'm like, "Yo, that's my neighborhood. What you mean the background? That's where I live at. That's not a set. You know what I mean?" And it's like, yo, people think this is interesting. And it's like, that's hip hop. It's like we made something out of nothing. So it's like,
because that's our culture has done over and over and over
Facts.
again. No matter what the circumstance was, even down to our diet. But like, I mean, the hip hop shit was my first thing. Like, I rode my bike and I listened to rap music. I didn't play sports. You know what I mean? None of that. So I was like 11. I started playing baseball. Yeah. By 12, I was playing basketball. And I was horrible. I'm learning my calls when everybody else nice, but I caught up at some point. But like, it's just being able to be what's considered an outsider, a reject, and still be a part of something. Yeah, is where this thing started from.
That's one thing we got in common. I don't care what type. We all got that to tap into. Whether you do drill, whether you do gangster music, whether you do conscious music, whether you do pop. It all comes from us. Like, it all is all, you know, all of this stuff. Back from Africa to jazz music to rock and roll, James Brown, all of that. Like, we sampled James Brown back then. You know what I mean? Like, people got to know that. Like, they ain't got to care, but they at least got to know.
I done rode all the way to South Carolina listening to one James Brown tape flip over and over and over again while my man Pop was driving. That I identified James Brown very rapid. You know what I mean?
You know, he inspired Michael.
Absolutely.
And Michael, you know, what he did for the culture, you know, just for black music, period. So.
Absolutely. And we had a lot of them, and we still have people that are doing monumental things. I was watching the Hip Hop Awards last night and looking at Rhapsody on the basement with Tigger and all of that, and her being a part of the movie with the little girl that's battle rapping, and I'm like, that's just so ill because a few years ago, I was telling Caution and all of them like, yo, Hamlet's out. Mm-hmm. They about to start grabbing y'all for shit where y'all could teach mannerisms and or y'all can help with the script and things and writing the verses for these battles and things like that because it has to be realistic. It's not 10 years ago.
It got to be like something that somebody can watch. It ain't 8 Mile, like no offense, but it
and
gotta
that's what I said last
it got
night.
to be like, oh, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
Like, cause I want to watch the movie again just to see the battle. Like forget the movie. I want to hear the battle part again.
It has to be that real. And I was like, y'all are gonna have checks that y'all never thought about before, and it's bigger than just movies. Like Hamilton is a stage play. Yeah. And it's based on the government. You don't think they're gonna do as much money as that made? You don't think we're gonna have everything in between coming out soon? Yeah. Who's gonna make sure that they got something that makes sense? It's y'all. You see what I'm saying? And then you see Rhapsody get picked up for something like that. And I see you see Easy the Block Captain in Bel Air, and you see you start seeing certain things, Hollow doing certain things. I mean Hitman Hollow doing certain things.
And battle rap culture, I love it, man. One thing I like about battle rap, I started battle rap. A lot of people don't know that. I mean, you know if you're from my neighborhood, but I love battle rap.
You said started battle rapping.
I started off battle rapping before I even did music.
Yeah, okay.
I was
it sounded like you said I started battle rap. I was about to say, nigga, no, you didn't.
Oh no, I ain't started. No. I before the internet, back 2001, I was with groups and we used to battle.
I was battling when I was 12.
Yeah, that's what we used to do in the lunchroom. So it's like I love it. Like
driveways up my way, lunchrooms.
Like if I dish you, I like you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I was arrogant, so I wasn't battling you if I ain't respect you.
No, if I dish you, I like you, and I wanted to show you that I was better than you, though. like, you know what I mean? So that's
I didn't have those opportunities. I was the one that was like, "Oh, you can't be him," and they would just bring me to some dude, and I'd be like, "Not him," or I'd be like, "Oh, that's the bull, Rob. Let's go." Like, you know what I'm saying? And then they take me to their old head, and their old head would drown me and tell me, "Keep up the good work."
Yeah, but it definitely pushed my pen. I was the youngest. I was 14. Everybody was 17. So I had to be crazy. But I ain't want to get stuck though, because you'll get stuck in that real quick. I knew I had more to offer, like with music and production and songs. That's what's weird. I make actual songs.
Battling used to be the way to get on.
Yeah.
When motherfuckers start buzzing about, he got bars, he killed this person, people would come get you and make you make a song.
Yeah. But
then it became a bad thing where it's like, no battle rappers know how to make music.
Yeah, because like the hooks, so that's where I put my attention at early on. I said, let me start making good songs because that's where the money is. Yeah. And that's where the broader population. I still love the culture, but I don't want to get stuck there. You know what I mean? And I knew that, I was good at it. I was like, all right, cool.
So who you fuck with now in battle rap? You be watching?
It's so hard, man. Let me just think about my consistent favorite. My consistent favorite right now is Geechee Gotti. Okay. I had people that I like, but they wasn't consistent.
I like Geechee as a human. Yeah. Like when I see Geechee do interviews and do vlogs and do his podcast or whatever the fuck he be doing, Geechee got a lot of sense, yo.
I like Easy too, though. Like, I think
Easy's hilarious.
I like Easy, man. I
like
his cadence.
Just like Chris Rock, that's from Philly, is the best shit ever.
I like his cadence.
Yeah.
I like his cadence. I used to be I ain't gonna say I'm not a fan no more, but I used to like Twerk a lot. I just need Twerk to be consistent. I don't know what happened with that.
Too much life shit.
Yeah, but yeah, I love all that, man.
No, but I think and during the pandemic I started paying closer attention because it's like you in the house all day. I'm on YouTube. I need entertainment that doesn't make me think about what's going on.
I had a chance to meet Smack too when they did the Philly joint. Before they did the Philly joint, he told me first. He was like, I'm coming to Philly. And I was like, that's what's up, man. I think I manifested that because I kept watching it. I kept talking about it. I was like, they need to come to Philly. And I'm sitting in Miami. And he's sitting across the room. And I'm like, that look like Smack. So I walk over like, Smack. He like, yeah. I'm like, yo, what's up? You need to come to Philly. He said, yo, I'm coming to Philly.
But he old Philly because people keep forgetting when Smack first started running around. It was a van full of Philly niggas.
Facts.
It was 7, 8 Philly young boys.
He know
18 and under.
He know that.
He know that.
Yeah, he know that. That's why when Cassidy said, his line when he was bad on Arsin, You know what I mean? He said, I forgot what he said, but he pretty much said that it started here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then he went and started fucking with y'all, and y'all act like y'all don't remember that shit. Like, all of y'all grew up off of Reed and Cass and whoever. Like,
Facts.
Cass, I used to tell people back then
when I was a young boy.
When people used to hate on Cass, I was like, yo, this motherfucker is 17 and the whole country is trying to rap like him.
Yo, I was a young
like
boy.
If you was
I was listening to the battles on the radio. I used to have my little tape and I would press it. It was at the time it was Cassidy, and then later on it became Reed, and, Cicero, and of course the whole DVD movement and everybody. I mean, I never got really into it like that, but I was definitely a big fan of it, just sitting back watching.
I had the 2 Raw for the Streets VHSs with PD on it, Jack Frost on it. All them niggas was going. Freeway was on the joint with the headband spitting all in the camera. It was like, that was the first time I heard the PD crack. I heard they got your number.
Yo, PD one of the most versatile flows out of the city. One of them.
He top 3.
Yeah, Life's
He
flow
top
is
3.
crazy.
And Gunna one of them too.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Philly, y'all some dope motherfuckers. Like, I'm gonna just say it, like, shout out to every Philly artist, man.
Absolutely.
We dope as shit, for real.
Absolutely. Who was the first motherfucker that made you say, yo, I really fuck with this shit? Like, fuck just listening to music and liking music. Who's the first person that made you, like, want to dig into them?
What you mean?
Like, get a whole album, perhaps. Like, maybe the first album you bought. Like, for me, LL was my first favorite.
All right, yo, this is crazy. All right, so a lot of people might not even know. All right, so I'm walking home from school. I see all these tapes on the ground. I grab one. I put it in when I get home. It's a song on there called "Don't Let It Go to Your Head." And I'm like, it's a remix though, by Brand Nubians. So I'm like, yo. So I'm like, I went to the Avenue and got the CD. I'm like, every song I'm loving it. You know what I mean? I mean, I heard the radio, I heard Pac Nas and all, Diddy and all of them, but that day was it for me because they tapped into my perspective.
Right.
Like, a little more on just the conscious tip.
Your voice matters.
Yeah, and I used to, like, at the time, I was like 8, I would take they raps to school and rap them. And nobody knew. And they was like, yo, but I kept saying the same stuff. And they're like, all right, we tired of hearing that. So I was like, yo, let me write my own. And I did the talent show at 8. The news was there. And I rocked this girl, Tiffany. Shout out to Tiffany. She walked off the stage. She was nervous, supposed to sing the hook. And I just rocked it. And since then, I said, oh, this is what this feel like? Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah, that instant gratification?
Yo, the connection was, like, the connection with people. I said, yo, I'm going to do it.
Recycling symbol.
I said, I'm going to do this forever. Like, this is it's on and popping. 8 years old. It was a rap.
That's dope.
It was over. They was playing with them Chia Pets at the time. Yeah, they was playing with the Chia Pets at the time. Remember that? Giga Pets, yeah. And Pokemon cards. I wasn't worried about that. I was rapping.
No, but like I said, music was my first love. When I was in middle school and all of that, I would write raps in class, and when it creative writing class, and I had another class where my teacher would be like, if you would just behave, you can write a rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then she would let me at the end of class perform my little bars.
Oh yeah.
But I always think back and I'm like, why was I performing AZ?
AZ?
Yeah, we did. I did Sugar Hill with my homegirl in the talent show, and I did what's the first joint with Snoop and Dre with my man one time.
I forgot. I can't think of it.
Mind you, we in middle school. It's lit. We tore it up, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, it's like, yo, you had your own rhymes back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you ain't just get up there and rap? But I wasn't in the headspace. And I had a problem. Did you ever run into... I guess not. You don't sound like you did. I had this thing. Since I was rapping young, and the older guys knew I did, they used to be like, yo, rap, spit something. And I wouldn't feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd be like, well, if you want to rap, then you got to rap. You never know who you around. Somebody might to put you on. And I was like, I don't want to be that guy. I'm not the jukebox guy. Like,
I know that you just like... Yo, let me show you. I got something.
Yeah, or if it's popping, I'm jumping in.
Yeah.
Like, nice little cipher, y'all getting off. If it's a weak cipher, I'm going to stay there act like I don't rap. Like, You know what I mean? Because I always had confidence. But it was like, I went to my, a chick I was trying to talk to, crib, one of my girl and that, and I'm trying to smash. And I'm on the couch, and her brother come in. And her brother's older, and he's like, I heard you spit, let me hear something. And that's when I was like, yo, this is too fucking much. Like, like, nigga, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm trying to get some mad. Like, and I'm young when you thirsty about the cheeks. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm in my bag, and I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. So for a long time, I fell back. I would still write or still jump in ciphers, but I would never want it to be the rap guy.
Yeah.
But I feel like you at 8 was like, no, I'm doing this shit.
I ain't care.
Because I was getting on stage anyway. I guess that was the difference.
I ain't care. Like it was like I knew that was what it was. Like I drew. I draw too. So that's people knew me as the drawing dude. Like I drew the yearbook for the school. So when they found out I started.
You get your publisher from that?
Yeah, I know, right? It was some paperback bullshit. It wasn't no real. But
it's only 300 copies.
Yeah, and probably don't even. I think I had the only copy left. Yeah, so it's like once, like it was cool with me. It ain't matter to me. I mean, I wouldn't rap every time somebody would say yo rap because I felt like it gotta be a right reason. Like you said, I'm not
like that was weird.
I'm not no. You're not just gonna say rap just to rap. Like no.
And mind you, I understood the notion.
Yeah, like if I'm promoting myself,
like,
like when I used to walk in barbershops and hand my flyers, the barbers, they used to be like, yo, we're not putting that shit in here. Rap. And if we like you, you can put it in here.
And I said, fun for them.
And I said, you know, how many people come to the barbershop a day? I said, yeah, I'm about to spit. So I went crazy. Yeah, you can put them posters in here, put it on the wall. Go ahead. I went to the next barbershop. Yo, we ain't putting it in here. You better spit something. And it was cool though, because I was with it. Like I wanted to earn every little bit of promotion. You only need 3 verses. Yeah, I mean, like, you need, I ain't gonna lie, you need 324s to hold you down. You know what I mean?
Because you could do the same joint. They wasn't recording. They just wanted to hear
back
something.
in the day, before YouTube and all of that, it was nobody to say, really, oh, I heard that on this interview. I mean, unless you was around, nobody knew it was the same. You know what I mean?
You had to be a savage to be like, oh, that's the same verse from this and this and this. Like, you had to really be on it like that. Like,
yeah.
And that cost money back in the day.
For sure.
You had to buy all the mixtapes.
Fact. You would have had to really know. Nowadays, you do something right here, you didn't think nobody heard it. They're like, oh, you said that on such and such.
That's why I respect Ness so much.
Yeah.
Because Ness, between battling every other week and putting out 2 and 3 freestyles every week and then getting on songs with people, and it's like, bro, how much shit do you write?
Yeah. Like I got my different levels, you know what I mean, of what I do, because I know it's just different situations. Like I could be super witty, or I could just, I could take it so many ways, you know what I mean? So that's how it is with me. Like I got like a clip. I got so many different types of clips. I got hollow points, bald heads. Yeah. You know what I mean? For different situations. You know what I mean? Like if I'm at a school and they ask me to spit a 16, it's not gonna be the same 16. You know what I mean?
Right. So, I know what you mean. Yeah. I mean, my biggest problem I think nowadays is memorizing shit. I don't memorize nothing. I don't, and I got comfortable.
It's the rehearsal. Like I don't write. Like I haven't written on paper since I was 15. I just write a line, I add a line, and I go from the top. I add another line, go from the top.
That's what everybody's saying. I still ain't figured that.
And as I'm adding, I'm rehearsing. So by the time I get to 6, yeah. So I'm adding one line, rehearsing from that, and after a while, you got it. You done.
But see, like I said earlier, I come from freestyling, right? Yeah. So I write kind of fast. Yeah. Like literally, once I figure out how I want to start, I don't pick my pen or stop typing until like the 8th or the 12th bar. Then I start trying to figure out how to close it or whatever have you, depending on what the space is in the song. Yeah. So I've never like gotten out of that because it's fast. Like,
I mean, if it works for you, it works. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I'm not saying it like that, but it's like I'm saying that to say it's similar to freestyling a verse in the fact that by the time I write it, I'm in the booth. I'm out the booth. We on to the next song. Yeah. I don't go through the mental process of rehearsing it and memorizing it. Yeah. It's laid and it's over. And that's because I've been blessed with a producer that I walk in his joint, he start making a beat. Every time he makes a beat, I write to it. Like he just be knowing how I feel. It's just weird. Yeah,
that's what I would do. Like I'll be writing it in my head and I'll lay the 4 bars that I write. So if I'm in the studio, I don't have to rehearse it because it's there. Right. Then I'll write the other 4 bars and then lay that. You know what I mean? If I'm actively present there, but if I'm not, and I know I'm got a session tomorrow, then I would do it the regular
What's your
way.
vibe in the studio? You like crowds, no crowd, candles, water, ginger ale? What's going on, man?
I don't need nothing. Like it don't really matter, to be honest with you. Like somebody asked me that about one time I was about to perform in Texas, and this girl had just met me, and she was like, "So, you know, I'm like this, I guess, you know, people they expect, you know, you seem calm, cool." And she's like, "Oh, come on, turn up. You getting ready? What you need to get ready?" I said, "I'm cool." And as soon as I touched the mic, I went in and she was like, "Yo, how you just turn it on like that?" I'm like, "Yo, I'm really an introvert for real. My energy comes from inside. Like I don't, even though I do this music stuff and I'm all, you know, you see me, I don't need nothing from out here to be motivated. So it's like the fire is inside. You know what I mean?
But I ask you that because I tell, you know, I love to collab. If I got 5 hours, even if I got a few songs I need to get done, I'm telling that certain people come through.
Oh yeah. It don't. I love it when people come through.
And maybe you can get on some, whatever. If you don't, whatever. But like sometimes people be like, it's so many people, and it's
it don't
like,
matter
well,
to
if
me.
Dr. Dre called you.
Yeah,
and all the dog pounds showed up.
What you gonna
Is
say?
you not gonna do the record, bro? Like
that's what
this is less pressure.
I've been recording since I was 13, so I'd have been in crowded, cold. You know, some studios was cold.
I think the booth should always be uncomfortable.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Listen. I ain't gonna lie. I won't leave the booth and I won't get something to drink. And it sounds like self-torture, but I'll be in there sweating. I will not go get something to drink until my shit is right. I know, but I wouldn't if it's cold. I just like you said, uncomfortable. Like I had other artists that I'll be producing or writing for, and I like low key be Joe Jackson. Like yo, you gotta really bring it out. And they be like, yo, let me get some water. I'll get you some water, but like really, you know what I mean?
Motherfuckers be like, yo, it's hot as shit in here. All right, finish the verse.
I go crazy.
You get air conditioning as soon as you finish the fucking verse.
That's how I be. I mean, that's just discipline. No, I'm not saying everybody gotta be like that.
But at the same time, we working. Like it ain't no pretty shit in the studio with me.
Yeah, I like that. Like
when I go to the studio, I wear sweatpants or basketball
white
shorts
beater,
because I'm a spill shit, I'm a burn shit.
Yo,
I'm a drool. We gonna do what it take.
If you find me really dressed nice in any footage in the studio, I got $100 for you.
If you find me dressed nice in the studio, I didn't know I was going. I didn't plan like my day around.
Yeah, you're in the studio. Same thing with me. I go in there looking like whatever, like because I know it's like working out almost. It's like I'm whatever. Like I don't care how I look, I don't care how my hair is. I'm just whatever.
And it don't matter. And this is the thing about passion, right? I ain't gotta be Drake, motherfucker. Yeah. But what I come out with we make something out of nothing, which is a miracle in itself, right? Let's just start there.
Facts.
And when 5 people hear it, when it's not even done and they bopping, look at God. I'm working for that. I need that. Like that works for me. I don't want to come out of here and feel like, damn, this is a waste of time.
Facts.
I was in there and we was having fun and everything was cool, but we ain't really getting nothing out of that.
Yeah, that's how it's been with this process with Voices from My City. Like working with so many artists that I didn't work with before, they not used to my process. So they like, yo, how did you come up with all this so quick? How did you? Because it's not the Pray for Philly beat. It's a similar beat that I reproduced. That's the same beats per minute, same vibe. But legally, the other one has a sample, so I didn't want to do that. So when I came up with the concept and I architect the song with people's voices a certain way, and they like, yo, and in the video, you'll see. You're gonna be like, damn.
Send me the record, so I can put it on the end of this episode.
I got you.
Make sure you play it for me when they hit you up.
No, I got you. Yeah, it's gonna be on all platforms next week. The video come out.
So that's perfect because this will come out.
Yeah. It's all planned.
Yeah, we good.
You gotta think about it. If you think about the whole time frame for this challenge, it's been 2 months. So in 2 months,
who you talking?
I did all that video, music. Like people take years to do that. But my thing is, if I got the attention and I've been working like this, then this is nothing. I'm not going to let the attention go to waste. I'm going to help people during the attention. I'm going to put on other artists, get them some. I'm going to be who I am. You know what I mean? Who I always been, for real.
What new situations have you gained, or new situation have you gained from this specific since you've been doing this challenge? Because your network has always been phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, obviously all the news stations.
Who's hit? Yeah,
obviously all the news stations locally and some nationally are interested just in me in general. But a lot of show opportunities. A lot of people want me to perform.
Okay.
Just more shows, more
I would think
relationships. So. You know what I mean? A lot of people outside of the city are watching just to see how things develop. So
your next move got to be your best move.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So, but that's the video and that's the single. So it's like
after that.
Yeah, of course. And that's what I'm doing. Like
because they waiting on that.
Yeah. But I already know. Like I got the shows. I got a movie I'm working on.
Word.
I got a movie and it comes as a soundtrack. I'm already.
I act a little bit.
Yeah, listen.
I'm be doing like something.
I'm be doing the cast in the summer. You know what I mean? Because I got 5 songs of the soundtrack done, and I'm done. I'm almost done writing it. I'm gonna do the casting in the summer, and
even if I'm not in it, we'll come cover it, or you come back and talk about it, whatever have you.
So also the soundtrack is not just me rapping. It shows my songwriting. So I got a lot of pop songs on there, a lot of reggae, a lot of R&B.
That you wrote for other artists.
Yeah, so I'll get a. So if you're a singer, like it's a girl that sounded like kind of in the Adele lane. I heard the song, I produced it, wrote it. I had her sing it. You know, paid her off. You know what I mean? Now, you know, it's my song now. Same thing with this rock song. Same thing with this R&B. Same thing. So the soundtrack is not just all Arsin and a bunch of rapping. It's the soundtrack to the movie. You know, the movie has different vibes, had different scenes. So when you watch the movie, you don't know that all these songs ain't songs that I bought from people. It's songs that I actually made. So that movie is going to be coming out 2024.
But that's ill because it's like Belly soundtrack, right? Where you get a bunch of different vibes on the soundtrack.
But these are different actual artists performing them, but I'm the one that wrote it. So it's all
that's amazing.
I own all of it, but you think it's some big collaboration, but it's just really me.
But that's amazing. Like, that's heavy. Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying, and that's my next big. I didn't want to just put out another album. I wanted to put out an album and a movie together. You know what I mean? So it's like
you moving like Beyonce with a trillion for the budget.
Listen, man. Listen. I ain't a millionaire, but I got $1 million mind.
And when I say that respectfully.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You got to use your resources.
Because like people can learn from what you're talking about.
When y'all see this,
you just keep running this shit off, and it's like, no, you about his business, bro.
My thing is this: if you see what I'm doing with the resources I got now, and you don't want to invest now, then you stupid. So anybody that want to invest their money or do something, it's the time to do it. Because once somebody else do it, it's gonna be exclusive deal.
Business wise, what could you use? Intern, editor.
Well, yeah, I got Extinguished Entertainment. I have a new intern. Shout out to Jessie. She helps a lot with a lot of stuff. I'm putting her on, help build her network. Always looking for people. You know, I do photography as well, so I can't do everything. So if I got a job that I can't do, if you're a photographer or you want to learn more, so photography, journalists, anybody, because Extinguished Entertainment is not just. You know, we also do marketing. Would you see?
Explain Extinguished Entertainment. So you mentioned it earlier. Explain it.
So Extinguished Entertainment is my entertainment company. We do marketing. So if you're an artist and you need promotion, Spotify, normal online music stuff, but or if you need like, you know, a press release, if you need to be on TV, you know, stuff like that, all the stuff that you see me do, I'm providing it. You know, not for free, obviously, but I'm providing you the opportunity to get it. You know what I mean? So, and also not just as a client, but if you want to be a part of it to build your network, you see me, I just did that show with Trina, you know what I mean? Like this photographer, I hit him up, he got shots of Trina, which helped his, you know what I mean? He networked. So it's like, it's like Extinguished Entertainment is not it don't have to be an exclusive deal or situation. You can tap into, you know, specific projects and go do your thing as a freelance artist or, you know, but we just want to use, you know, the network that I got for artists. So that's the business side of it.
No, and I think that's dope. And I mean,
I got the podcast that's through Extinguished, the MATCHBOOK podcast.
Does that come out of noticing a void or a passion?
It's both, because when I was coming up, and this goes for every city, it's really cliquey. It's like oh, you gotta know, you gotta do this, and it's like why I gotta be part of cliques? You see what I'm saying? So I felt like as I'm learning the hard way,
Philly is one of those
as I'm learning how to navigate, I might as well just provide this service to other people. You ain't got to be an extinguished artist, but you can use our services. You know what I mean?
Affiliate all day.
Yeah, you can be affiliate. Period.
Work for hire, whatever.
Exactly.
Range you want to figure out, but you got to put
Period. Yeah. That's all it's about. You know what I mean? So it's like that's my way of not just, you know, giving back to artists, but just, you know, expanding the resources, but also helping my business too. You know,
that's what I was about to say. It's so big for the business.
Yeah. I mean, like just the photography alone is its own thing. Yeah, like the videos.
There's plenty.
When y'all see this video, don't be like, "Oh, who shot your video?" Because I hate that. People be like, "Yo, your video was fire. Who shot it?" I'm gonna tell you who shot it, and when you're gonna go do a video, and it's not gonna look the same. It's not the camera quality alone. It's the work. It's the treatment. It's the direction that's gonna make it. So when you come, yeah, exactly. When you come to Extinguish, your dream gets manifested in a way. Not saying that you don't have the ability to do it, but if you see something working for me, and you want it to work for you, just take the same equation and make it custom to your style. So come to us to have us put it together right, put up the plan right, and that way you won't be like, well, Dad, I had the same guy shoot my video, but it's not the same type of video.
And you know what's funny? A lot of people will say, well, I would have took the class if I knew that I could have learned that. Sometimes you can pay for a service and learn just as much just doing one project. I didn't go
to school for a lot of the things I know how to do. You know Absolutely. What I mean? Like when you see these videos and you see this artwork, it's stuff that I did because I didn't have the money to do, but when I got the money, I invested in it and I built my skill, and eventually I got formal education on it. And
we got YouTube University.
Yeah, of course, you know what I mean? Like these YouTubers that's millionaires, you think they went to school to be a YouTuber? You know what I mean?
They went to school to be a YouTuber, but they ain't know.
They
wasn't studying it.
So I'm saying we live in an age where it's like you can't really make too many excuses, to be honest. Like you just gotta find a way. Like I know it feel like the world against you, but you gotta grab it and just say, yo, fuck it, I'm going.
Well, see, when you're and this is entertainment, this is business. When you're in the market, when you see what's going on, you see people that have longevity and you see their levels. You see people that have grown in 2 years, 6 months. You see what they do. You see opportunity strikes people when it's supposed to, if they're where they're supposed to be at, and they get what they're supposed to get out of it. But everything is not everything. Nothing is universal. But one thing for sure, two things for certain. If everybody is promoting on Instagram, then at some point you gotta get back out the house. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like
be different.
Yeah, you have to do the other thing too.
When I flooded the city in 2010, that was like the foundation of the city really knowing who I was and beyond.
And that was street team shit.
That was me.
That was guerrilla marketing.
4 people guerrilla catching
marketing.
The L. We ain't hop in the car and ride around. We was on the L every stop. It took us 2 months.
I've been on South Street hanging out CDs.
Yeah, so it's like
not even mine.
People wasn't doing. Other artists wasn't doing it.
Right.
That's what made the difference. They wasn't. I don't know if they wasn't willing to or they ain't think about it. I'm pretty sure they wasn't willing to because we talking about 2 months of walking. You know what I mean?
Think about the DVD guys and the mixtape guys.
They was willing to. You know what I mean?
They did it. You see what I'm saying? They put that work in. And if you look up today, they still good.
And I was a young boy doing it, 19, 18. It wasn't like. And I ain't have no money for real, but what I had, I invested in. Yeah.
My dad taught me, and you know my father, but my dad always taught me to reinvest in your business first.
Facts.
And we lived decent. We went on vacations every year and all of that. We ain't go to Dubai or nothing, but we always went somewhere, and that was a beautiful thing. But that barbershop came first. As far as if we can't upgrade,
because also it's a place where you could work if you ever didn't have a job.
Well, he never wanted me to be a barber. You want to talk about it? I never talked about it.
I'm just saying in any facet, whether you sweeping.
I mean, at the same time, it was that, but he always, being as though he'd been in the barbershop since he was 10.
Yeah, he probably didn't want you to.
My uncle and my grandfather taught me how to cut hair. My dad got mad. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But I learned so much from it, and you gotta. All right, you talking about being 8 in music? The barbershop was my babysitter. You see what I'm saying? And when you a child in the barbershop, you shut the fuck up, you listen, and you hear all types of shit.
Facts.
If you're quiet enough, the more you make them recognize that you there, the less they gonna talk about, right?
Yeah.
And I'm treated with respect because I'm the owner's son. I'm the other owners of the other shop's grandson. You know what I mean? I'm somebody in there to those gentlemen. Yeah. But you learn so much. I remember Hilltop Hustlers coming through there with the jackets on and all of that cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even know who they is. I'm like, what the hell
Hilltop.
is going on? And it's because he's on that block. He's back, back that way,
Yeah.
But it was just you learn so much just being there that I think that paid off in the long run for me, where it's I understand how to have a barber's mentality or a barber's conversation, or same with the bartender, or certain professions that you engineer certain industries that you get in where you have to deal with different kind of people, and they come with what they come with.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. You know the language.
And I learned that. I learned a lot of that early on, just being there. But the barbershop was my babysitter, man. But at the same time, he never put me behind a chair.
Yeah, he probably wanted you to do your own thing, and that's what's up. He ain't trying to make you, do what he did.
Yeah, I never resented him for it. I love my pop. My pop is thorough.
Listen, man, he was one of my favorite teachers.
Talk about it, man.
Yeah, you all know his dad was my teacher in 6th grade, so
What school
it's
was
crazy. This was Charles R. Drew School. It ain't there no more because some political things happened with the city and Drexel.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, and supposedly, I don't want to get into it, but it was supposed to be a school for the neighborhood, but that's not the case. But yeah,
I know exactly what you mean. When you say
so
that.
there's a lot of gentrification going on, and Charles R. Drew, Dr. Charles R. Drew,
right,
was a black man who worked out of Howard University that did a lot with blood plasma, and I was honored to go to his school and find out more about him when I got older. But yeah, that's where your dad worked at.
Yeah, so what was your experience? Because I don't know my dad as like
a teacher.
Yeah, like the biggest drug dealers in my neighborhood, my dad taught them at Germantown, King.
Yo, your dad is very poised, educated. Like, it reminds me of like all of them great black men like Sidney Poitier. Like, oh shit, yeah, like even current people like Barack, just that type of poise. And we was wild. I'm talking wild. I was wild. Like me back then, I was wild. Like, I was crazy. I'm talking setting the room on fire. Like, literally stapling people with staple gun. I was a troubled child. I was quiet, but when I did stuff, I did it. And for him to just be able to just handle me and 32 other students who was pretty much the same with so much. Like, y'all
could never rattle him.
Yeah, it was like, and then he just like, listen, man, you ain't gonna get nowhere like that. Like, you gotta use this. And you young, you ain't trying to hear that. But looking back, that's the type of dude he was. So it's like, I really appreciate that because, everybody couldn't take us. We ain't a lot of people quit and all of that.
Bro, I always felt like my mom always wanted me to be a teacher because, like, my dad was a teacher, my aunt was a teacher, my mom worked in the school system, all of that. And she always thought I had a gift for it, like that I would be good at it. And I used to always be like, the shit I used to do in school, I'm not gonna go stand in front of that car, but like, is you crazy? But it got to a point also where I was young. We went to a family reunion one time, and I started realizing, like, starting to see my dad outside of being my dad. Yeah. Like, we went down south, and all of the cousins pulled their chairs up to his table. He dead tired, and he just turned it on. Yeah. And it's just comedy for 3 straight hours, and you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like,
it's like you see how he is to the world versus just to you.
Yeah. So even as like I know women that have taught with him, and they were younger than him, so he kind of was like helping them along their way or whatever. And the things that they say about him is just like, it makes sense because I know my pop. Yeah. But I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't see that. But it's funny because I'm telling you, this dude feel like he taught everybody. I'll be talking to somebody, be like, how you know such and such? And he said a government. And I'll be like, oh, shit. Yeah. But nah, I appreciate you saying that, though, because that was thorough, because you said the Sidney Poitier thing. And one thing that they used to always say my dad looked like Robert Townsend.
Yo, he do. But he do. Yo, listen, I subconsciously knew that. I just never said it. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
Back then, especially.
Yeah, for sure, you do.
But like, I always looked at my grandfather on the level of Martin Luther King and them. So when you say that, I understand the perspective that you're talking about. Like, it's about the man and what he, you know what I mean, what he represents. It's a real thing. People think that you doing apples. It's like, no, everybody has who they can touch.
Yeah, exactly. And even being like that had an influence, because I can look back as a kid and say, I could think about everybody in my community. I could think about the drug dealer, and then I could think about Mr. Rice. Mm-hmm. So now I got options. You know what I mean?
Church.
You know what I mean? If our teacher was just some teacher who was like, I just get a check, I don't care, then I'm gravitating to the streets. But if I got a teacher that's like, yo, you smarter than that, and really talking to me like I exist, then I got options, and that's kind of where I get what I get from. I want to.
The weird shit is he's probably talking to y'all and like my fucking son. like I got a son that's crazy as you motherfuckers. Y'all don't even, you know what I mean?
I know,
like,
right? And we don't know. You know what I mean?
Cause like, one thing about him, and we gonna get off of my pop, but one thing about how he raised me, there was plenty of times where he talked to me and told me I should be fucking you up right now. But we gonna talk and we gonna like, you know what I mean? He gave me a lot of grace before that fucking hammer came. But when the hammer came, it was Thor. You know what I mean?
And it's just a prime example of why you should always be mindful of how you treat people and understand that everything you do to yourself. Because if I didn't know he was your dad and say I had an issue with you, knowing he was your dad could change that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Or vice versa. So it's like, you don't think that the stuff you doing or the stuff that's happened to you is personal, but it's really, we all connected for real. Especially like close as cities go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this city is a motherfucker.
Yeah, everybody know everybody.
I went to high school and it was like 5 dudes who my dad gave their first haircut to.
Yeah, so
you know what I'm saying?
The fact that he was a teacher and a barber is like, oh yeah, everybody know him.
Everybody,
yeah.
But he been a barber since he was 10.
Yeah, but one of those alone, you gonna know everybody. Yep. You got multiple classes with 33 people in it.
And he was a traveling teacher. He bounced to a different school every couple years.
Yeah, so he knew everybody. He probably knew to everybody or cut everybody here in the city at some point. Almost everybody.
My papa talked that shit without talking that shit. He like I said something about his job one day. He said, I got my double masters. My principal ain't got that. I said, so why you ain't a principal? He said, they the first one in, last one to leave. I got a barbershop.
Facts.
Like it, but they pay him.
Yeah.
Like he the principal.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what happened with me. I was on my way to get my PhD. I was getting all A's, and then I thought about something, and I'm like, I can make just as much money with this as I can with a PhD. I got 20 years experience. That makes it a PhD. Why am I going to go get more debt? And then I realized there's people with PhDs who make the same amount as me, and I'm like,
and got way more stress.
You know what I mean? Yeah, just and then like and I took my ego out of it. I said, forget all that doctor shit. Like, you know what I mean? The title,
the accreditation is beautiful.
Yeah, but the ego. I think a lot of people don't go really for the right reason.
Life is not about a title.
I was going for the right reason because I wanted more accreditation to do the work. But then when I looked at
you reached a certain level where it's like it don't even matter.
And then I looked at the years and I put it together and I said, well, I'm kind of there. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily need it. And I thought about the debt that I was going to incur, $70,000 debt. I'm like, I don't need that debt. You know what I mean?
How are you able to always step outside of yourself and analyze your situation from a helicopter point of view?
It's a survival thing.
Do you know that you do that?
You got to, because I mean, when you coming from down the bottom of West Philly,
talk that shit,
and you 8 years old, first time you see a white sheet put on somebody, you getting shot at 11, you get shot at 15. You know, the way you move, you gotta have a mind that goes beyond where you physically at. Because if you don't,
you'll be stuck.
You'll be stuck, and you'll get ate up. So my mind was my only freedom. You know, like I was physically walking around, but my mind had to see further. It was a survival thing. If I can't, even if I'm crazy, even if it's like, oh, I'm imagining me getting the house, I got to, because it's the only way it's gonna keep me sane. Because if I can't imagine, then I can't. At least I can see it. I gotta be a visionary. I gotta be able to see what other people don't see. Because if I just look at what everybody see, then I'm gonna die. I can't survive like that.
When were you aware of it?
8 years old. Around 8 years old.
At 8, you were aware that you had the ability to see outside of the situation in a way that others couldn't.
Yeah, it started with drawing. I would draw things. I would choose to draw faces and places that I never been. You know what I mean? That was my first art, aside from dancing.
Which is interesting because most don't. But go ahead.
I wanted to draw what I saw in my mind. And then when I realized I could use that in music, I can make music and lyrics and create the same drawing in my mind and your mind. It's a different type of drawing. If I draw it on paper, we see one thing that's not going to change.
Visualization tactics at 8 years old.
Yeah. I mean, I look back now.
It's like, you what you just said?
Yeah, but I didn't, to me, it sounds crazy when you say it, but it's like,
It doesn't sound crazy to me because I believe in the power of us.
But this is why I put so much emphasis on young people. That's why I'm doing this challenge for young people, because these young people, period, not just young people, but human beings have this ability. It's just we be caught up in so much other stuff that we don't tap into it. Like my friends, luckily, you know, my mom dealt with, you know, what she dealt with and all the struggles. But I had friends that moms would be OD when I walk in. So they ain't had that love and support that I had at my house. You know what I mean? My mom overcame her addiction. My dad died and all of that. But some people was worse than me. So they can't be drawling because they hungry. I'm up here taking the food out my house that my mom gave me, them big old things with the bag of chips, and giving them to my friends because they hungry. You know what I mean? Like, you know, my friends like
bring the breakfast and we cook breakfast at your crib.
Exactly. So it's like they didn't have the ability to use their frontal part of their brain to be creative because they strictly on I'm trying to survive. So, you know, since I had that, I never took it for granted. You know what I mean?
Because like with me, I guess my thing that's similar to that, I wouldn't call it equivalent, is that I have the ability to multitask in conversation. I can talk to you and have a conversation, separate conversation with this person, and know what they're talking about behind us. Yeah, and that comes from paranoia and being in groups and have to stuff pay attention. And you don't know that it's happening, so you're trying to always be on point. Yeah, but like it helps me in the studio. Yeah, it's a transfer. It's a transferable skill, and that's what I'm saying. Like all this stuff that you learn in the street, you could put into a job or business. Just learn how to. That's a transferable skill. Imagine you at a Fortune 500 company using that same skill. You know what I mean? I understand it, but it took me a while.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. People don't be aware. You know what I mean? Like everybody got it. They just don't be aware of it.
I said in one of my songs that I got a healthy paranoia balanced by marijuana. Like I'm good with being a little bit paranoid. I come from Philly. Yeah. If you think that if you comfortable, you tripping.
Yeah, for sure.
You tripping. You know what I mean? You ain't in your grandma's living room. Then what is you doing? Yeah. And it's sad but true. Like born in '82. This is what it is at this point, right?
Facts.
But no, you said a lot, man. You said a lot. One thing that sticks out is when you took Young into the studio and you said y'all was in the car and he had the joy and the energy and what you saw in that.
Yo,
like those moments are meant to happen.
Like,
because that gives you now it's another branch.
It looked like he won $1 million and all he did was just record his voice. It brought me back to how powerful it felt when I seen that tape or I heard, you know what I mean? Like, people, like, that was enough. And I give him credit, but he don't take it. He be like, oh, you the one started the challenge. I said, yeah, I've been doing this for a while. But I said, it's that moment that inspired me. And you didn't do it on purpose, but I guess it is a both of us thing because you reached out. I ain't had to reach back out to him. I could have been, young boy, you're not rap.
But he has the right personality and the right energy and the right understanding of a situation. He's humble.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing.
And that's
that
why
means he's meant to have the energy poured into him and
exactly.
Be molded.
And that's why I continue to mentor him. And I don't like he might not rap as good, but I always tell people you can work on skill. You can't work on ambition. Like you can't give nobody ambition.
Let's talk about it.
Like I can. He has the ambition. His second rap is on the official song. It's on Voices My City, and it's hard. And it's actually hard.
Right.
You know why? Because he around a bunch of other people that's fire, and he keeps saying, "He's like, yo man, I ain't got the hottest verse." I said, "Yo, keep being around us."
But the crazy thing is, he has somebody's favorite verse.
Yeah, exactly.
And we don't realize that all the time.
Exactly. And I said, that's what I told him. I said, yo, use that and do what you did last time. Come back stronger. I said, that's how I was the weakest one when I was 14. But I became the strongest one because I worked harder than all of them 17-year-olds.
Bro, I was Barstool Rude walking in the studio with the Booze Brothers and a bunch of lowlifes. And they like, oh, get on this joint. And they on a hip-hop, similar to Wu-Tang Mob Deep vibes. And I'm like, oh, I got to get off. Yeah. And I'm just fishing to get my shit off. But then later down the line, they like, yo, you kind of killed that joint. Niggas keep asking me who was the kid, who was the young boy. And that's all it's about. Start the energy. Because then you could build from there. I might not have been the best on there. But now that people antennas is up, I got different producers sending me beats. I got, you know what I mean? Yeah. And now we can build.
For sure.
Now we can build. But the fact that you're a conduit to that. But
Yeah.
before we wrap, I want to say real quick with the Pray for Philly challenge related situation, the football game, Roxborough High School, the young man from Saul was murdered after the football scrimmage. He had a mentor. They interviewed his mentor on the news the next day. Black man, probably around our age. You know what I mean? And he was like, no, he was a great kid. You know, all the things that people say. He said, he was wearing my pads when he got shot. Like the connection that we can have. You know what I mean? We don't all have the biggest pulpit. But whoever you can touch, when you can give them these moments, when you can inspire, when you can be that connected. Even though that young man lost his life, that man made his life that much better.
Facts.
For that time period that they were connected.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
And that's what my homie told me. He was like, yo, if you change one person's life, you change the world, because that's that person's world.
If you teach me something, I can teach a bunch of people.
Facts. And that's my thing. Is like, I'm only one person, but that's why this challenge, I held every artist accountable, every community organization, every person, the donate link. If you ain't got the money, then you can post it. If you ain't a rapper, you can
explain the donate.
Yeah, so the Youth Pray for Philly Challenge, it's a GoFundMe for it. I didn't want to just go to an organization and say sponsor this. I wanted you, as the people that are affected by it, to invest in the change of it. And it starts with our youth. So you can invest through music, you can invest through money, you can invest through sharing, you can invest through word of mouth. But whatever you do, invest into this positive energy instead of just dealing with the negative. And
you'll give me the links to add to the.
Yeah, it's on GoFundMe. It's in my bio, Arsin 215. It's also and it's also if you go to GoFundMe, you put Pray for Philly Challenge, it pop right up. If you see founded or started by Arsin Clemens, you know it's legit.
Right.
You know, people do weird stuff, but
I know.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad you said it.
And then what I'm gonna do is, the deadline is the 18th for the youth to submit. All the rules on my page. On November 1st, I'm gonna announce the winner at one of these community organizations live on my Instagram, and I'm gonna show, how the voting with the pie, all of that, and I'm gonna hand them the money right in their hand, and I'm gonna connect them and every participant with the resources they need.
No, that's dope. I want to salute you again, because I know that Pray for Philly Challenge is a new energy for you.
No, I've
you've
been
this guy the whole time.
Facts.
You've never been a problem. You've always been somebody that has shown.
I mean, I have. I've had my moments where I've shown edgier sides of myself.
No, I'm in the business. Bro, it ain't that deep. Trust me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, trust me. What you represent and what you've always represented is just personified in a different entity with this.
Facts.
And I appreciate you for that. And like I've been saying multiple ways, and you said in a couple ways, if you can touch, inspire, make people tap into a different part of their brain, let people know they have an opportunity. Like, you know what I mean? When you can raise the ceiling, then you doing what you was put here to do. Facts. To some extent.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing. So I don't want you to just look at it as something that you just used to doing. Yeah. Just know that these things are monumental for people.
Facts.
They're huge for people. The first thing I seen when I saw you was doing it wasn't, let me think of a verse. It was, I gotta cover this.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
You wanted to lift it up.
I wanted
not
to
just
bring
contribute
light to it, because I wanted to argue that narrative that I'm always arguing when it's like it's nobody that cares until it's like, no.
Yeah.
I know this brother. You see what I'm saying? He just sat here and told y'all about my pop. Like, we not strangers. It's not no clout, whatever they talk about. I hate to say.
And you remember what we did with, Never Forget Faust. That was an example of like,
crazy.
I said, let me make a hashtag for him.
But you did that, and you brought everybody in. And y'all heckled me, because I was still getting my life together. I had a great time with that joint. Yeah. And like I said, he produced my album, and the last song is on Faust on a Roll in My Headset.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I remember that in your verse.
Yeah.
I recorded your verse. Remember this?
Yeah, I remember.
And I put
we was in there. We was in there. But like I said, that was early on me figuring my voice out. But, well, not early on me figuring my voice out. I was in a weird place at that time. I'm going to keep it G. Because that Faust shit was like...
Yeah, I understand.
That Faust shit was crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I wanted to do something that no matter... His kids can press the hashtag and it'll always be there forever. Like, they'll always see that he meant something to the world. You know what I mean?
I don't think...
And you seen the video, the way I put it together was crazy.
I don't think people understood how much he had done.
That's why I did it too, to show not just the human side, but also the musical accomplishments.
Yeah, like he had done so much, and it was just like, it was on his. He was an energy person.
Facts.
Like, I know so many people that recorded at that studio that's like, yo, I didn't need no Faust as a producer. And I'm like, every time I finish the session, he play me 8 beats. I say I like 6 of them, and they be in my email by the time I get home. Like, what y'all doing today? Like,
yeah. And that was his beat we did it on. You know that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was only right, and that's what was so dope about him. But rest in peace to Faust, man. Rest in peace to Faust.
Never forget Faust.
Never forget
It's the
Faust.
hashtag.
It's the hashtag, and we on there. We on there. And I thank you again for letting me be a part of that. But like I said, I got personal ties to that studio.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why I reached out.
In a real
Everybody did. That's why I was like, yo, I'm gonna reach out to everybody.
No, in a real way. But let the people know how to follow you, how to participate in everything and all of that. Let's put a bow on it.
On social media, you can follow me at Arsin215. That's ARSIN 215. If you want to be a part of the youth challenge, all you got to do is go to my page, look at the details. If you want to contact me about business, it's arsinmovement@gmail.com. You know, we ain't hard to find, so, you know, let's go.
That part, I appreciate you once again, bro.
You already know.
Absolutely. My guy. Yo, this is Sippin' with Sammie. Will forever be Sippin' with Sammie. Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't sipping with Sammie, you ain't sipping right. Please get your fucking life together. And if you ain't a part of something positive, then you about to miss the boat, man, because we on our way out of here, man. We're going to take our people to a better place, starting with Arsin 215, my guy, man.
You already know.
And plenty others. Shout out to City of Dreams Coalition.
Seen too many dark nights. That's why sometimes I leave the car park nights and settle down, settle down, settle down, settle down. They tryna tear the ghetto down. That's why I tell my homies put the metal down and settle down, settle down, settle down, settle down.
Up in the morning, every day yawning. Spark of a wood, every day ain't boring. Look at the news, 5 minutes at the snooze. Look at the news, 6 hours at the booze. Watch on my wrist so you know what time it is. Rap better show so they know what line it is. Nobody equal and they brainwashing people. Hit Mike Brown with 6 shots like a free throw. Life ain't fair and I'm still wearing ass. Juicing for my dinner so I'm cutting up pears. I really don't care, square up with a bear. I really don't care, take the mic from a man. Life like a movie, glad they free Lil Boozy. Waiting for my chance, trying to test out the Uzi. My squad getting busy, but you know that already. Stand up for yourself, the pigs ain't loyal.
Seen too many dark nights. That's why sometimes I leave the car park nights and settle down, settle down, settle down, settle down. They tryna tear the ghetto down. That's why I tell my homies put the metal down. Settle down, settle down, settle down, settle down. Laying on the pillow, eyes wide open. Tired as hell, but can't shake my emotions. Meds don't work, need something more potent. Cause stress keeps interrupting my smoking. They say we hopeless, I know better. Say we deserve less than pets and I know better. I show better, nah bruh, I ain't perfect. Never did nobody harm who ain't deserve it. The time put in these verses seem my only outlet. And I ain't found my way out yet. So I toss, turn on the news. Country on their way to war for other dudes. Same in the streets, in other news. Homie killed the homie from his crew. Streets say he had it coming. Gotta figure out something. I'm getting too numb and I ain't running. Seen too many dark nights. That's why sometimes I leave the car park nights and settle down, settle down, settle down, settle down. They tryna tear the ghetto down. That's why I tell my homies put the metal down. Settle down, settle down, settle down, settle down.